Yes, this is Tactical Red, and you're on Tactical United and Liverpool, Manchester United preview. It's a big one. It's the biggest one. It's bigger than big. It's badder than bad. It's gonna be madder than mad. I promise you. It's gonna be madder than mad. The way that game is gonna be, oof! I can't wait for it. I actually can't wait for it. It's like today's like Thursday. Like I'm like, why is it taking so long for this game? You know them ones, like it's a proper game. Like Man United top, Liverpool second. They're the champions. We're trying to be something. Like that's a proper game. You know they got injuries, but we've had injuries for season after season after season. Like I said from the beginning about Liverpool, players ain't all that. I said this last season when our players nearly outscored their players. I said this many times. Mane, Salah, Firmino, even in midfield, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Milner, Fabinho. Okay, Fabinho is nice. Like in their status of the Premier League, are any of those players getting in there? Like, yeah, Salah's good, but he's just a stat padder. He's just a penalty taker, stat padder. Let's be honest. Mane's good. Mane's got better under Klopp. He's better at dribbling. He's very aggressive, very strong. He's hard to deal with, Mane. Like, it's not easy. Wan-Bissaka's going to have a tough game versus Mane. Do you know what I mean? But Firmino, no. Firmino, no. No. Like, no. Like, there's so many strikers that have had better than Firmino. Fowler, Torres, just Suarez. Do you know what I'm saying? Even Sturridge. Firmino's not that guy. Midfield, they've had Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, you know, Callister. You know what I mean? They're decent midfielders. Like, in the Premier League history. Mascherano. Do you get me? Like, yeah, Mane, he's probably their best winger they've had in Premier League history. McManaman, you could talk about McManaman, but Mane will just touch him just a bit more because goals and titles and consistency. Consistency is the key ultimately in football. But I see. It's not going to be an easy game though. Like, I know a lot of Man United fans are getting excited, and I'm excited too. I'm gassed, but I don't know if you guys think how I think. You might not. It's like how you see things, but you might think that this game we can win it, but I can't really. I want us to badly win. I badly want to win. I just want to win the game. I want to win the game. But I don't know how. And I know Liverpool aren't on form, but trust me, that's dangerous. People talk about the form of Liverpool. It just says you need a game to boot, get you gassed up, get you pumped. And then, man, they know how to win. We know how to win too. This season we've proven we know how to win. But the only thing that I haven't seen us do this season is win a game we need to win. So and the thing is, we don't need to win the game. We might win it. It's mad. It's left and right. You can't call it if you can't. No one can tell me they're confident of what the result's going to be. No one can, because there's so many. It's so sticky and so many permutations in this game. Like, what team is Oli going to play? Is Pogba going to play on the in the centre? I'm just watching the Arsenal game on the side, you know, because there's nothing else on, is there? What was I saying? Yeah, is Oli gonna play Fred? Is he gonna play McTominay? Is he gonna play Matic in there? I mean, is Van der Beek? I'm gonna put it out there. Is Van der Beek gonna play? I know it sounds funny, but I'm putting it out there. You know, is Martial fit? And if he is fit, do you want him to play? I don't know. I mean, I thought about it, and I don't really want him to play, but I can understand if you do. because obviously Martial is Martial, and Martial's a top quality player. He is. Like, I'm not saying he's not, because he is. But do I want him to play? But you got no one else. So then you got people who want Cavani up front. Okay, like I give him this game up front because you know what, like taking him out, there's no point. It's not like Martial's hitting form. Cavani's only had one game, so there's no point really taking him out. But I'm not convinced with Cavani. I'm just not convinced. Like, I know people are saying like his movement and his hold up play, and like I saw this with Dan James. Like, I'm not being funny, and I might be wrong, but I'm not being funny. Yeah, I saw this with Dan James. I saw people talking about Dan James, and I was like, I don't see it. I saw this with Williams. People was like, yeah, Brendan Williams is proper. He's better than Shaw, and the videos out there that prove I said that. And then Brandon Williams, I said no, I don't see what he's good at, and this time he doesn't get any games. You know, Dan James doesn't get any games. Like, McTominay is getting games, fair enough. I've been been very heavily critical of McTominay. Like, I'm not going to deny it. And he does score here and there. But, yeah, I just don't rate him as a footballer. And the only reason he's there is because he's Scottish. And because Fergie got a picture of him, his arm around him. That's the only reason he's there. Like, I don't think he's there for any other reason. He's not there for any other reason. You know, and social, I listen to Fergie. Just so I'm just putting it out there, because I still think like calls are being made and decisions are being made. Like, I'm not saying telling Ollie like, you know, play Martial on the left. I'm not saying he's doing that. I'm not saying he's doing that. But you see, Fergie, you've heard how people talk about Fergie. He will play mind games with you. Like, he's the ultimate mind game player. You cannot read him. He's impossible to read. And he's going to be doing things that you're not even going to realise until 5 to 10 years later. So, Fergie could be in Ollie's ear, just dropping little things. I'm not saying, yeah, do this, but he's like, well, Ollie, you know, you have to look at it like this. Do you remember when, like, you know, he'll drop things like this. He'll drop the old school things that Ollie's seen, and then he'll say, why did I do that? Maybe you should do that with him. Fergie's a clever guy. Which because he had, I don't know, he had some tumour or brain hemorrhage, isn't it? So that's not stopped him. Like, he's a strong man. Like, no one thought he was gonna die, because I didn't. I didn't think Fergie was gonna die. Fergie's just next level. And when you got P's like that, he's a sir. Like, he's got P's. He's respected not just throughout football, throughout everything. There's no way they would let Fergie die like that. So, yeah, man. Pogba performance was good. They're letting him on Sky Sports do interviews now. It's funny. I find it hilarious that he did the interview. I find it hilarious. Do you know why? Because I feel like him doing an interview is confusing, and it's confusing for some fans who think, you know, you want to leave, why are you doing an interview? I get that. It doesn't really make sense when you, like, as Man United fans, we're going to get excited when we see Pogba doing an interview, because it means, like, potentially he could stay. But it's really confusing. It doesn't make any sense, because if his agent wants him to leave, he hasn't signed a new deal, so therefore you probably do want to leave, or you're not happy with certain things. You state all the time. His statement is all the time, right? When you listen to Pogba, when he talks, yeah, like, and he doesn't talk a lot, but I've got a decent memory. Some of you do too, and some of you will remember this as well. You know, he said every time in the interviews he goes, when the team wins, I'm happy. He says that so many times. So, like, I go off what people do and what people say. He said when the team's winning, so clearly The reason why he doesn't want to stay is because he doesn't believe that this team can win trophies. It's really simple. It's nothing to do with the this, that, and the fans. There probably is some elements there. Don't get me wrong. That has to be there, actually, to be honest. But I think he just doesn't see Man United doing what he thinks Man United should be doing. Winning trophies, winning leagues, playing a certain style of football. That's what he wants to do. And I don't blame him for that. I can't blame a man because that's what he wants to do. Do you know what I mean? And the only talk that we've been hearing him talk about is Real Madrid and Juventus. Now, when you think about these two teams, they play in a perfect way that Pogba would like to play. Possession-based. Possession-based. Strictly possession-based. No counter-attacking, no running, no, high press. They do press, but not like high press, Control the ball, control the game. That's how they like to play their football. And that's why he wants to go to these teams. And he wants to see Man United do the same and, then he can perform. And he knows that. He knows himself as a player. As a footballer, we've all played football and we all know what we like and what we don't like. So at the end of the day, he didn't like the way we're playing. He doesn't like Ollie's style. He doesn't like just running around football. And he's probably told Ollie that. And Ollie probably tried to help him with that. But obviously, Ollie's the type of manager, probably, that didn't approach him or hasn't really said, do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Are you happy? Let's sit down and talk about this properly. Probably just had little conversations walking off the training ground or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Nothing really serious, sitting down in the office type thing, unless you ask Ollie to do that. But at the end of the day, he's performing at the moment, and there's a lot of fans hating on him. A lot of racism still going on about Pogba, so it's a bit strange. But at the end of the day, people always gonna be like that. So if they can and forget about them, I don't give a shit about them. They play no part in my life. Do you know what I mean? So Pogba won't be affected by them that much either. He's a footballer. He's living his life. With this COVID, no one's living life really, but Pogba's been living life. He travels around the world. He goes here, goes there, goes everywhere. So yeah, man, I think this game is going to be a serious game. It's going to be, I can't call it. I just, Liverpool haven't lost at Anfield for a long time. Man United haven't won at Anfield for a long time. There seems to be a certain, and we've had this style of football. We haven't really played possession-based football against any top team, or I tried to control the game against any top team. The only time we did it, we won 5-0. I'm just saying. The only time we tried to keep the ball, when Bruno Fernandes wasn't in the team, and Rashford didn't start the game, we controlled the game in spells. I'm not saying that we shouldn't play these players, but I'm just saying the one game that we played well against a top team is when we didn't have Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. It's just a fact. Because all the other top teams we played, we haven't really tried to keep the ball, or you just played this holding midfield, and against Tottenham, it was unfortunate. I think against Tottenham we could have beat them, because if Martial didn't get sent off, because the way we was onto them, it wasn't like they was dominating. They just had a couple of attacks and they scored from them. It was just one of them ones. So Tottenham, that game was just weird. Tottenham don't batter anyone 6-1, so it's a one-off. You know what I mean? You can have a one-off. It can happen in the early parts of the season when not everyone's fit. It can happen. That's why no one really if you talk about that game seriously, it's not a serious game. It's not a serious game. It wasn't serious, what happened, because when you look at the whole season, Tottenham haven't done that to anyone. So it's one-off. The funny thing is, with Mourinho in the early parts of the season, it was always the same style, by the way. Early parts of the season, he'll start battering teams. And then when the pressure starts coming on, when he starts getting to the point where, you're at the top, or you're coming close to the top, people are talking about you, and his reputation is on the line, he'll start playing defensive. And then what will happen is he'll use that all the time because that's the only way he feels comfortable. He feels uncomfortable attacking because in nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing that he can identify with an attacking team because he's not that type of guy. He's not that type of coach. He doesn't identify it. He identifies with, he wants his team to score goals and stuff, but he identifies with solid foundations of defense. And when this team start attacking, he doesn't have an identity. He doesn't have no identity with it. He doesn't like it. Not really. Like, that's why it always happens at the beginning of the season when there's no pressure. You just clock little things like that sometimes. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you're wrong. But anyway, I just want Man United to win. I just want Man United to win. I want Man United to win the trophy. I want Man United to win the Premier League, and that's all I want. So I want to beat Liverpool. I don't want to see Liverpool win. I can't stand Liverpool. Liverpool, the one team I do not like. Like, Liverpool, the one team that irritate me. Liverpool, like, forget before they with Klopp. Like, I never liked them from, like, I think I started really disliking Liverpool in 2000 and 2001 with that silly, what's his name? Gerard Houllier, rest in peace. With his team, and his team just used to frustrate me. Like, I used to these stupid fans. And I think when they battered us 3-1, I remember they beat Man United 3-1 in 2001. Owen scored like some curler in the top corner, and it just pissed me off. I think Risa scored some screamer, and the fucking commentator started screaming. It did piss me off. It was embarrassing. I remember watching the game, thinking, like, this is embarrassing. Like, who is this team? They think they're great. They think they're special, and they're not. Like, they're a shit club, and we shut them down every season. We finish ahead of them every season. It's like only the last, like, since Fergie left, we haven't, obviously, but we've been. How can I say? We've been there. We've been up there. Do you get me? We've been up there with them, challenging. Now, for the whole season, they have to respect it. I have to respect it. As a Man United fan that is not certified that we're going to win the league, I have no choice but to respect it. I have no choice. And, this type of game that we're playing against Liverpool, this is the type of game that, all Man United fans need to be on the same level of mind. And if you're all on the same level of mind, I guarantee you win the game. Like, I know that sounds a bit funky, yeah, but I'm telling you, all Man United fans need to just be like, you know what? We don't care about Oli in, out, FC Pogba, FC Pogba, Martial FC, which is Martial FC, yeah. you guys are diehards. Like, I'll give it to you. You guys are diehards. All that Dominic, Fred, Matic, Bruno, Maguire. Like, I haven't spoke about Maguire, and you know what? Maguire's been playing well. He's not been a captain. Let's not get excited. But he's playing well, and because he's been playing well, that tells me that something's changed. Maguire hasn't played well all season. Maguire hasn't played well since we bought him, let's be honest. But in the last 3 games, consistently played well. I know he's been playing a little bit better before then. I think since the Everton game, don't get me wrong, but he still had some howlers in those games. He's had howlers. Even though he had a sly howler against City, it was very sly. But for me, yeah, Lindelof miskicked it, but like, you shouldn't trust your centre back because you know he's whack. Yeah. Apart from that, he's been solid. Obviously, the common denominator is Bailey, obviously. If Lindelof plays, like, the only thing I will not accept from Oli, if Lindelof plays and Bailly doesn't play, I will not accept it. I'm not accepting it. Like, if we lose, I'm saying it's not, like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't care. Like, as Man United fans, we need to look at what is best for Man United. I know we all have secret slide favourites. I have favourites. I actually have favourites that I want to play. And when you have favourites, you have favourites. You can't help it. But Lindelof can't be your favourite. He can't. Okay, if Maguire's your favourite, fine. Okay, like, you win. You paid 80 million. Like, you made him captain, fine. We have to accept that Maguire plays every game. There's no discussion. So then Lindelof can't be your favourite, and you have to look at Bailly as basically the best defender you have. Basically, on a pound for pound. He's pound for pound the best defender. Pound for pound. Like, I want you to tell me what Bailly can't do. Just post it in my comment box. Like, tell me what he can't do. Look, no one's perfect, by the way. But he can do everything. Like, he might make the odd mistake, like all defenders do. But he's not. But he can do everything. Tackle, like, yes. Jump, header, read game, recovery pace, confidence on the ball, pushes the team up. Vocal, fearless. Like, fearless. What else? The only thing he can't do is score with his feet or his head, really. Like, it's the only thing he can't do. Like, if he added that to his game, you look at, like, obviously Sergio Ramos is the best goal scoring defender in the world. But if he added that to his game, he'd be very good. He'd be close to world class. And if he stayed fit, his biggest actual downfall is he can't stay fit. Like, that's the biggest downfall of Eric Bailly. There's no other. And obviously that's a major downfall, because if you don't stay fit, you don't play. So it's mad like that. But we'll see. Like, Tellez seems to be made number 2, like, officially, and I think it's yeah. I agree. I think Luke Shaw is not going to provide you with goals. He's not going to provide you with assists. And I know it sounds weird, because Tellez probably would. Tellez can score. Tellez can assist more than Luke Shaw. But Luke Shaw provides, like, a leadership that is very, very undercurrent. It's very underrated leadership. Like, it's not like, you know, John Terry type leaders, you know. It's not like, who's the best captain in Premier League. Like, Henderson probably, as a captain, is the best in the Premier League, because, you know, vocal, organised, it's, you know, very, like, very passionate. You can see his drive, you can see his fight. So he shows it in his performances. Like, he plays like a captain, and he's vocal like a captain. He's none of them. But I think Luke Shaw gives you a certain reliability, a certain consistency that you can fully, completely understand, that you don't really get from a lot of players. Like, he basically does a 7 every game. Like, it's a 7 out of 10 every game. Like, he's not 8, he's not 9, he's 7 out of 10 every game, because he doesn't do a lot wrong. Like, he might not be able to deliver that final ball as well as he could, or do it as quick as he could, but everything else he does right. Defending is basically, I think he could play centre back. I think he could easily play centre back. But defending, he can defend very well. You can't go past him. He doesn't get bullied. Good in the wins headers, wins tackles, blocks, reads the game, covers round the side, round the back, covers the back post from crosses. It's the best defensive left back in the league by a fucking distance. Most of the left backs in the league are shit defenders. But yeah, man. So that's why Luke Shaw is different. He's different to most teams. Like, he's defensively on point. Like, and he still tries to go forward. Like it's not like he just stays back. Like Mourinho would tell you to stay back. He still tries to go, but he's always in position. You got to respect that, and his fitness levels, even though he looks like a fat shit sometimes, like his fitness levels are still on point. So yeah, man, you got to rate that. That's why I say he's like a leader, because he's there. Luke Shaw's there. Like Tellez was good, yeah, but Luke Shaw just looked better than him. Like Luke Shaw just looked more. He fitted the way we want to play. Tellez is a bit too slow, and he's a bit too hesitant on that left. But I think if Luke Shaw gets injured, and Tellez gets a 6-8 game run, that's fine for Tellez. Then we can really see what he can do, because until he gets like a 6-8 game run, we're never really going to see. But it's plenty of time for Tellez. I know he's 27, turning 28. I think he's turned 28 actually. But you know what? Like, that's what happens, isn't it? Like, this is you're here to fight for your place, isn't it? It's Man United. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, score predictions. I'm not doing it. Because I don't care. I just want the result. I want the win. I want the W in the bag. W in the bag. That's what I want. I don't want anything else. I don't even want to think about anything else. But if you ask me on a real man to man level, I don't think we're winning the game. I don't think we're drawing the game. Liverpool step up when they need to. That's what they've done. I know they got injuries, but you know, teams like this can do one-offs, and the record is poor. The record is poor for Man United at Anfield, because that counter-attacking team don't work at Anfield, because they hold you in, like they keep you there. You're not going nowhere. Right? And I know we got players to bust, but I personally would, if it's my team, I'll play Van der Beek and Fred. I'll play Van der Beek and Fred, just because they're press machines. I do all Fred and Matic. Like maybe Fred and Matic. Yeah, Fred and Matic. Fuck that. I'll play Fred and Matic. I'm not playing McTominay. I'll play Bruno. I would play Rashford somewhere. I'll play Rashford, Cavani, and if Martial's not fit, I'm playing Greenwood. Yeah, because at least you know, with that, at least you like, with that team, you'd get pace. And get pace, and you get pace. I didn't put Pogba in, did I? Damn. Well, Pogba would have to play after his performance. He has to play, so I'm maybe doing Pogba and Matic again. Because you know what? I would do Pogba and Matic again. Because that's control. You need to control the game. You need to control the game. The game is about controlling the game against Liverpool. Like, they're not that good. Like, you control the game, you can dominate them, because their midfield's not that good. What, they got Salah and Mane on break? What, we got Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka on the wings with pace plus Bailey. Come on, man. We're not slow. We're not sluggish. We're not getting burnt out here. Come on. What, and then you got Matic pushing, Pogba pushing. Let them press. We will counter press. 1-2 touch. Come on now. Like, I'm telling you, man, if we get up for this game, we get up for this game. Anyway, I'm Tactical Red, this Tactical United. Come on, United. Get that win. 6 points clear. That's what I'm looking for.